The main piece of advice I have for students who are thinking about studying at UNT is to try to come for a visit during the fall or spring semester when the bands are rehearsing. You can sit in on a small group rehearsal. You can talk with the faculty, talk with other students. I think you'll be surprised by the range of music that we're working with here and the high level of the work that the students are doing. You can only learn so much from a website. We really hope you can come and visit us.
The people that do well are the people that have done their homework by listening to a lot of small groups before they get here, listening to a lot of big bands, have a good idea of the history of jazz. You don't have to know everything, to come to this school and expect to know everything and have a really great background. We're looking for students that are committed. And as long as you have that, I think that you'll flourish here.
My advice would be just to take into consideration, details of the music and why listen to this certain music. Sight reading is another thing that it's critical, I believe.
Not panic, and to be prepared to invest a lot more time possibly than they thought, and to add to not panic, to not get discouraged, because I think it's almost inevitable. I mean, that I think people get here and it's very overwhelming. So I would tell them, yep, it's overwhelming, and just keep swimming.
Definitely come into it with a beginner's mind, because as soon as you start to think you're an expert at anything, then that's when it starts to go bad, and you start to have crazy self-esteem things happening, and oh, I didn't play well today, therefore I'm worthless. But it's really, you have to go into it remembering that the whole music school thing is just about music, and it's not just music, and it's not completely representative of what music will means and what it will mean to you in the future. And you have a whole lifetime to really explore the specific things that you like. And just relaxing your shoulders and remembering to breathe, because those are usually the first things to go. And just being open to whatever happens and not trying to micromanage everything, because that'll never work out that well.
Let yourself be open to all things. I find a lot of students, even that study jazz, have this is what I'm going to study, and this is what I like. If you don't like something, spend a little time with it. I mentioned John Hollenbeck earlier, and I remember the first time I listened to him, which was probably my freshman year of high school. I didn't understand him at all. And his Claudia Quintet music, I just didn't get it. And recently, it's just been one of my greatest loves. Being open to different types of music and listening to what your professors have to say, writing it down and referencing it later, to just have fun. There's so much time to learn. And college is really to give you the tools in order to tell you, this is what I need to work on. It's really to give you the realization that, wow, this never stops. Everyone is trying to get better at what they do. And so, you realize that, man, this is going to be what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Try to avoid the whole comparing yourself to other musicians while you're in the program, whether they're in the 1 o'clock and you're not, and you're upset about that, because that can hinder your growth more than anything. And just being able to recognize that everyone's at different levels and you grow at different rates. And then also meeting people is so important. I had a teacher tell me my freshman year that a lot of it's about the hang. You got to go out and hang. If you know that there's a place where people are playing all the time and there's a jam session, you need to get out there and do that, because it's such a community. In our line of work, this is your network. When you graduate, these are the people you're going to want to call for gigs.
Coming in prepared with your music is always important, and sort of knowing what the plan is. That kind of seems to be kind of a given, but I think that you can't underestimate the power of actually just enjoying the performance and having an emotive experience in the studio, because somehow that gets captured onto the tape. You know what I mean? So if you can get yourself in a state where you can just perform and kind of just forget where you are, that you're not surrounded by microphones, and just play, then that's always going to be your best effort, I think.